Welcome agents. Yesterday I released a video about the new intelligence annex which detailed the skills and their mods within the Division 2. Whilst the video was fairly long, I didn't really discuss my opinion on the skills and whether I thought they would be a better or worse asset than the Division. So today I want to do that, and I encourage you all to get involved and leave your comments down below. If you're interested in some cheap, affordable Epic merch, check out my Teespring store link below. And with that said, let's do this. Okay, so if you haven't checked out my last video, I would recommend you do that because I detailed all of the new skills and their mods coming in the Division 2. It's important to remember that these 5 skills weren't all the skills in the Division 2, as I know the ballistic shield is coming back for sure because there is a gear talent which gives you extra pistol damage whilst a shield is equipped. We don't know how many skills are coming, but I would guess it's going to be similar to the Division or maybe a few less. I think in the Division we had 12 skills. I would probably say that we're going to get 9 within the Division 2, but that would be a complete guess at this point. Whilst I am looking forward to using a lot of the new skills and their mods, I'm looking at you, Sniper Drone, I'm not sure at this point if they are going to make the Division 2 a better or worse experience. Today I want to go over a few skills that we know of and talk about the possible repercussions should these skills not be implemented correctly. First off, let's talk about the Fixer mod for the drone. So the Fixer mod says, this defensive drone repairs armor over time. You can choose whether you want it to fly next to you and passively repair your armor, or choose a friendly target whose armor needs repairing, including other damage skills. Now this mod is very interesting and very cool. I really like the idea that if, for example, your turret has taken a lot of damage and it's really low, that if you use this mod, then the drone will actually go over and fix the turret, because as I said, it does include damage skills. That's really cool. Now it's definitely something I want to see in action along with every other skill and mod within the Division 2. And I want you to all bear in mind we don't know how these mods are going to work in game, but the concern I have with this mod is the ability for this drone to follow you around and heal your armor passively. This is something we've not seen in the Division, so it's actually quite difficult to even compare this to something we already have. But the idea of an armor repairing drone following you around already seems a bit cheesy or potentially too strong, and cheesy and too strong are something that we don't want within the Division 2. To put this into perspective, imagine this within the Division right now. You tap your skill and it deploys, following you around and giving you health. This to me already seems very strong, and we've got no idea how this is going to work within the Division 2. Secondly, and similar to the drone, we have the Mender mod for the Seeker Mine. Of course, we knew the Seeker Mine was coming back because of the E3 reveal where it did show it being used against NPCs, and I'm happy, not so happy it's coming back. It is nice to see a friendly face though when it comes to skills. Now this mod says, similar to the Reinforcer Chem Launcher, this friendly little Seeker Mine releases repair chemicals. These chemicals form a cloud that repairs your armor or that of an ally. If you have not chosen a specific target for the Mender Seeker Mine, allies that lose all their armor are automatically targeted by the mine. Now this is the specialist skill for the survivalist specialization. Now this mod is similar because I assume the Seeker Mines will roll on the floor, leaving a trail of these chemicals that you can follow, allowing you to repair your armor. And I really like the idea of the mod auto-choosing a teammate who has lost their armor and seeking them out to repair. I think that's a really cool addition for the Division 2. And I think this is something I was hoping for in the Division, but we know now that that didn't happen at all. What I hope is that the Seeker Mines auto-target a teammate and repair them, but don't leave a trail of chemicals for you to follow, which would also heal you as well. This might be a little too powerful, especially when you consider that cover-to-cover movement is when you're at your most vulnerable. If this could be negated by having a trail of chemicals to follow, then I just think this may be a little bit too much. Of course, we do want something which allows us to move from cover to cover effectively without dying instantly or going down instantly, because within the Division 2, when you do break cover, you are very vulnerable, and having played the E3 demo, it does feel like you lose your armor pretty quickly. So this may be a talent, or a mod, sorry, where this does happen. Again, it all depends on how the devs actually balance this. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Thirdly, we have the booster mod for the new Hive skill. This skill looks Absolutely awesome, cannot wait to use this. Now this mod says the booster sends out one micro drone per friendly player that administers stimulants to increase combat efficiency, boosting weapon handling, movement and other physical capabilities of the agent. Now just like the other two skills, this skill will follow you around providing you with these bonuses, some of which the devs have not listed and just put them under other physical capabilities. Now, personally, I just can't stand it when the devs don't actually say what we are getting. And they did this a lot with the Division, especially with the talents, so I do hope they clarify what other capabilities will be boosted. Aside from this though, I think the actual skill sounds cool, but again, my concern is that this microbot will follow you around providing you with this bonus or these bonuses, and I really think the community will resent this. Maybe not at first because it's new and it's fresh, it's somewhat different, but eventually, the same way we all resented the original skills within the Division being too cheesy or no skill skills, if that makes sense. I think my main concern with the skills are they will require no skill to actually use, unlike the specializations which do actually require you to aim, and this is one of the main problems with the Division skills. It's just press and voila. I mean, this isn't the case with all the skills. For example, the chem launcher requires you to first aim the weapon, fire, and in the case of the fire starter mod, ignite the near invisible gas with some sort of spark, like a bullet or a grenade, for example. In the Division, we have skills that provide you with stationary bonuses, like the healing box, the Tyra, or we have skills that provide you the boost at the moment you press the skill for a certain duration. We don't have skills that follow you around providing you with these skills, and that worries me, as I think this may become very cheesy in the future, and that's just something I can already envisage on Reddit a couple of weeks after launch. I can just see it right now, and that's not something I want to see within the Division 2, of course. Now, this all depends on how the devs balance these skills, of course. Let's take the boost mod for the Hive skill. This microbot will follow you around providing you certain bonuses. As I said before, this could be really OP, especially if the microbot has a lot of health and the duration is too excessive. But it could also be the very opposite. One of the good things about this microbot is that it's going to be airborne, meaning it can be shot down, unlike the skills from the Division. Take booster shot, for example, in the Division currently. You could pop this and get increased damage and increased damage mitigation. One click and you get these bonuses, and you didn't even have to invest in electronics either. Now, it was an instant effect that lasted a little while and no one could do anything about it. That's what the booster shot is, and that's what it provides you. Now, when you put the microbot into perspective, it doesn't actually seem that bad after all. The same goes for the drone and the seeker mines. As long as these things are vulnerable, then it shouldn't be too bad, I guess. I just hope that with the Division 2 skills, they don't become the crux of every gunfight, whether it be PvP or PvE, because that's how the Division currently is, or at least it has been for the last 3, since it launched pretty much. It would be nice to engage in a fight where a skill isn't the difference between winning or losing. So I'd like the devs to perhaps have a much longer cooldown than what there currently is in the Division, with mods that allow this to be reduced, depending on what build you are attempting to make. Now, we don't know anything really about mods within the Division 2 at this point, you know, like performance mods and that sort of thing. But I would imagine there are going to be mods which, you know, like skill haste mods, which reduce the amount of time it takes for these skills to go out. So if you're investing in that, absolutely, you can have these skills very often, just like you would in the Division. But if you don't, then I really feel like the cooldown should be a lot longer than what we currently have in the Division, meaning that they should only be used at, you know, really good times. And not only that, it just adds a bit of skill to the player who decides to use it at one point and not at another, to his advantage, or her advantage, of course. So I'm going to leave that there, agents. I don't want you to think this is a negative outlook on skills, because it's not, and I actually can't wait to start using these. I just have some reservation over balancing these skills, which I'm pretty sure you can all appreciate, having played the Division for the last 3 years. And when I read the descriptions of a few of them, the ones that I've obviously mentioned in this video, I immediately felt like some of these skills would become cheesy or overpowered, or if they're not balanced correctly, would really break, you know, the immersion of the game. As I said before, we will have to wait and see what the devs do, and I am sure they've learned their lessons from the Division, so I'm very hopeful we'll actually get these skills that will both be really fun and to use, but also balanced, and not the crux of every engagement. Thanks to you all for joining me today. Hopefully you did enjoy this one. If you're concerned with the skills with the Division 2, leave your comments down below, and if you're not, leave your comments down below. Get involved. I love reading your guys' comments. It really does help me out, and it helps me structure future videos as well. As always, your support is much appreciated, and if you haven't already, pick up some cheap Epic merch by clicking on my Teespring store link below. With that said, until the next one, Epic out.